Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Crisel De Leon. I'm one of the education counselors here at Fortrust. I thank you for taking the time to join us today as we get to hear from one of our students who's already in Canada. So instead of us today, it's not really about us. It's really about the experience of a student in Canada, what they go through, what their usual concerns, and hopefully the sharing that Sir Aaron will be able to give us today will help you make a decision whether this pathway is for you. So today we have Sir Aaron Simon, who's one of our students living in Canada. He's gone through the whole pathway of studying, working after studying, and he'll share with us his experiences and insights of living overseas. So hello, Sir Aaron. Are you? Hi. Good
Hi, Crystal.
evening. Tama ba, sir? Good evening.
Yeah, good
All
evening.
right.
Yeah,
Nice.
good
Thank
evening.
you again for joining us and supporting us in all our activities. But before we start, can you give us a brief background about yourself and
Yeah,
introduce yourself, Lancer?
yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Richard Simeon. I came from the Philippines, obvious naman. And I was a student for Seneca College from September 2019 until April 2020. Ayun, uh, my previous career back in the Philippines is in the pharmaceutical industry before deciding to go to Canada. And yun, actually the main objective of me going here is for greener pasture and at the same time provide, some financial help to my family and better quality of life. And now I can say I'm a permanent resident and
Wow,
I'm so
congratulations. Kailan lang, sir?
last 2021,
Wow,
November
okay.
2021. So wala pang 2 years
2 years.
actually.
Oh, wala
Yeah,
pang 2 years. Okay,
actually.
so that's the goal of almost everyone that we talk to. We
Yes,
want
definitely.
greener pastures. They've explored other opportunities, and studying overseas is one of those opportunities. But before that's usually the main idea. Pero madami din silang fears
Yes,
before pushing through. Kasi we all know it's an investment. More than anything else, malaking investment talaga
I
siya.
know. Yeah, sobra.
Oo, so ang usual, number one na concern ng Filipinos is, kaya ko ba? Kaya ko ba mag-aral do'n? Kasi nga parang kinakabahan sila na baka sobrang layo ng standards ng education sa Canada compared to the education that we're used to here. So
Yeah.
for you, sir, what would you say?
For me, definitely when it comes to education,
Mm-mm.
sa gap between, levels and standard ng education, I can say at par naman tayo. I mean,
Okay.
Philippines to Canada. It's just that napaka-advanced lang ng ano nila, ng programs, like the program offerings, yung mga courses within it.
Yeah.
Kasi medyo na
Oo.
um I don't wanna, badmouth yung ano
Yes.
natin, education sa Philippines, but napaka ano nila, eh, hybrid. Kumbaga, um,
Specific.
yeah,
Tama ba?
napaka-specific
Yeah.
and at the same time, you will have a specific career after you
Yeah.
graduate from a specific program. So, 'di ba, napaka-direct to the point,
Yeah.
and if you wanted to, excel on something, there is a specific program available for you. So, siyempre hindi din naman mawawala yung fears, 'di ba?
Oo.
Like starting anew dito sa, foreign country. And lahat naman siguro na nag-abroad gano'n yung nararamdaman. Lalo
Mm-mm.
na
Yeah.
mawawalay ka sa comfort zone mo, sa family mo, 'di ba? So, talagang dapat decided ka 100%,
Mm-mm.
motivated ka to achieve your goal, and at the same time matiisin ka, which is yun yung mapapayo ko, like number one.
Yeah. When it comes then, usually, sinishare ko sa students ko that some of our Filipino students, nakakapag-dean's lister pa din naman sila.
Yeah,
They get scholarships. So, when it comes to kung kaya ko ba mag-aral doon, I'm sure kaya. Like, everyone's going through it and still they're able to excel. So, thank you then, sir, for the input and letting us know that
yeah,
it's a lot more specific. The courses that we have in Canada is a lot more specific than the
a
courses
lot
that
more
we have
specific.
here.
Yeah,
And that actually leads to my next question because kasi nga, you said that my specific course for a specific career, a specific job. So
Yeah.
this is also the next question. Kami kasi as an education agent, we can't really refer our students to a direct job na punta ka dito,
Yeah.
mag-apply ka dyan. Oo. So
Totoo yun.
how was the experience for you? Kasi sinasabi nila the hardest job is the first job. To
I
find the
know.
first job.
I know. Kasi kailangan mo basagin yung stigma.
Mm-mm.
Especially you're an Asian. I'm not saying that racist sila dito
Mm-mm. Yeah.
and all. May diversity naman ang companies here. It's just that nasanay lang siguro sila when it comes to Filipinos. They're seeing them in the fast food,
Mm-mm.
in the healthcare industry. So parang hindi sila sanay kung nag-a-apply ka for an office job, a professional job, a professional career. So
Mm-mm.
talagang kailangan mo basahin yung stigma by means of when you study here, make sure that you study hard. Kasi yung high honor, like I'm not being too boastful naman dito, pero I achieve yung high honor dito
So
sa
there you go. Kaya
pinag-aralan.
naman pala. Oo.
And kaya naman. It's just that yung first impressions ng employers dito sa Canada when they saw na capable ka of achieving a high grade with a perfect GPA 4.0, syempre ang first impression niya sa'yo, oh, this guy is something.
Yeah.
Baka aside from the work experiences he had back home, meron siyang dinadala sa ating something new. Maybe iba to from other, kasi kalaban mo din dito yung mga Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
So, the more credentials, the more achievements you have, the better. Kasi talagang ang labanan dito is yung competition napaka tight. So you need to have this competitive advantage in order for you to leverage yourself among other applicants.
So I guess it also shows your work ethics if you have like really good grades and you excel. So that's a very good point. But so international students, for those that are watching, international students are allowed to work part time while they're studying, but that's just
Yes,
like a bonus. Did you work part time when you were studying, or did you
I
focus
did.
on your studies? Ah, you did. So
I
kaya
did.
i-balance. Okay.
Actually, good thing for me, what happened before is that I was able to get a job inside the school. So
Ah, galing.
it's
Okay.
not counted dun sa 20 hours
Okay.
na
Yes.
limit per international student. So I'm having my 24 hours sa loob ng school as a customer service representative. Then sa labas, I'm working in Tim Hortons. Like,
Okay.
baker. Nagbe-bake ako ng mga mga tinapay. So, alam mo yun, mixed feelings for me kasi talagang natatry ko yung work experience dito sa Canada. And at the same time, napakaswerte ko lang talaga kasi I was able to earn for my
Mhm.
tuition fee for second sem
Okay. All right.
through
So
those
it's
two jobs.
substantial then, but then that's two jobs. Oh, that's two jobs.
So
What are your
7 days a week halos ako nag-work. So
grabe. Plus
talagang
kaya mo pa mag high honors sa lagay na 'yon. Grabe. Okay.
nakachamba lang siguro sa
Hindi, no, I don't think that's
ano
chamba, sir.
yun,
Talagang that's really hard work.
hard work. Kasi talagang nandito na ako, eh. Why should I,
Oo.
maging
Give it
mediocre
na
pa ako, 'di
100.
ba? Ayoko maging
Tama,
mediocre. Gusto ko na talagang
tama.
ibigay 100% ko kasi kung decided ka pumunta dito, all in ka dapat. Wala ka dapat regrets, wala ka dapat iniisip na negativity. Push lang ng push, move lang ng move forward. Kasi ako, mas sarili ko lang. I don't have any
Yeah.
family member here or relative. Talagang mag-isa lang ako na tinaguyod yung lungkot saka yung pag-aaral ko dito sa
That's a very good point that you brought up. I've been doing this for quite some time. I'm sure you know that. And I've seen some people come back. Usually, those that come back are those that are unsure. Na, sige
yes.
nga, subukan ko. So, if you pursue this, you have to give it 100%. You have to have 100% ang loob mo talaga to do this. So, thanks also for bringing that up. Pero, going back, do you have any tips to finding that first job? Kasi my brother is in Canada. He had a really hard time getting that first job. It took him a while kasi nga hinahanapan siya ng Canadian work experience. So paano
Yes.
mo nga naman bibigay yun nasa Pilipinas, galing ka Pilipinas, 'di ba? So how did
So
you like break that?
meron akong tatlong tips na naiisip, like nag-work for me. I'm not saying
Okay,
that it's
yes,
gonna
yes.
work for other people, but first is like yung nakikita ko na napaka beneficiary is not being too choosy.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi ka dapat
Yeah.
mapili sa kung ano yung
Mm-hmm.
unang magiging work mo, especially kung nag-aaral ka lang. Nag-aaral ka pa lang. Like for example, if there is like kasi ang pinakaunang work ko is like yung alam niyo yung nagse-serve sa mga restaurant, pero hindi siya more on ano siya banquet hall eh. May mga
Okay.
events like there's a waiter there.
Mm-hmm.
Nagtook ako ng ng smart serve, yung for alcohol serving. Yan, nag-waiter ako doon. So,
You took a
wala
short
ako
course.
never ako naging
Qualification
waiter,
first,
right?
yeah.
Never ako naging waiter back home. So, tinry ko pa yun. Pero kasi ang ganda lang niya, may minimum wage ka, then you earn tips then coming from, your customers. So, yung unang tip ko is, hindi ka dapat maging choosy. Kung ano yun nandyan, go for it. Kasi ang hirap. Ang hirap maghanap ng work.
Mm-hmm.
Then second, yung tinatawag kong networking. You need to talk to a lot of people, same nationality, different nationality, okay lang yan. Just ask them, kasi dito ang hiya, wala dapat hiya dito eh. Hindi ka dapat nagiging shy. Because every person is an opportunity for you to understand how it feels like to work in Canada, to know their culture and everything, kung ano ba yung meron dito. So, build your network, napaka-important yan. Kasi pag kilala mo kunyari si Mang
Mm-hmm.
Jose naghahanap ng waiter or helper sa kanyang business, di ba? Pwede kanya ipasok. And that's what happened to me nung nasa school ako kasi may nakita ang Filipina na custodian doon. Then tinanong ko siya, ate, marunong ka pa ba mag-Tagalog? Ganyan. Then sabi niya, yeah, naghahanap kasi ako work eh. So yun, sabi niya, sige mag-apply ka dito, i-forward ko yung resume mo, sana makuha ka. And luckily, ginalingan ko naman sa interview, so nakuha naman. And yung last ko siguro talagang di ba, not being too choosy, tapos yung network, yung third yung resume, ayusin. Iba kasi ang format ng resume dito sa Canada. Hindi
Did
kailangan ng
Seneca
yeah,
did Seneca help you out with that? May orientation ba sila na
meron,
this is what,
meron.
yeah, that's important, I think.
Yeah,
Oo.
meron siyang pero kasi ginawa na nila yon like middle of the
Talaga.
middle
We
of
shall
the
let them
school
know.
year eh. So,
Oo.
tinanong ko lang kung paano bang nag-search ako sa YouTube, nag-watch ako, ano ba yung format ng resume dito sa Canada, yun, nakita ko siya. So, yun, ginaya ko. Kasi hindi naman kailangan ng pictures dito eh.
Correct.
Hindi,
Bawal ang picture, bawal
bawal.
ang
Walang ano yun.
statistics. May ano pa yun, di ba? May resumes pa minsan, hobbies
Oo,
and all
kasi
of that.
hindi ka naman
So
i-accept
just your
based sa itsura mo, di
qualifications.
ba? Hindi ka
Tama.
i-accept
Tama.
based sa
Oo, yes,
itsura
sir.
mo. So, you need to fix your resume, not become shy. Hindi ka dapat nahihiya, network ka, mag-build, and huwag ka maging choosy. Yun lang.
All
Maakalan ka
right.
ng
Thank
first
you for
jump.
that input. And that's not just for Canada. Everyone na
Yeah, I get.
kakausap ko in Australia and New Zealand, that's really the key, networking, finding like the right people, especially when you're new there, and bawal mahiya. Bawal talaga if you
Wala.
want to succeed and
Yun din
make
sinabi
things
sa
move
akin
faster.
yun din
Oo.
sinabi ng mga
Yun din
kapwa
sinabi niya
Pinoy
sa'yo.
ko. Kapwa Pinoy
Oo,
ko dito,
yes.
uy, Toy, walang hiya-hiya dito. Ginagano nila, uy, sige po.
Correct. Oo.
Sige. Then, ayun. Saka,
So,
nakalimutan
totoo
ko,
ba na sobrang friendly ng Canadians? Na parang naglalakad
yeah,
ka, hi, good morning, gaganan, or
yeah.
kakausapin ka na lang bigla.
Kakausapin
Kasi
ka,
they have a
how's it going?
reputation, Canadians have a reputation for like being so friendly and, di ba? Totoo.
Yeah, totoo. To be honest, totoo. Pero may mga percentage pa rin ng medyo may
Oo.
racist pa din naman. Pero,
So,
yeah,
I think that's something naman that a lot of us have to deal with, yeah, when we're in other countries. Sige. So,
yeah,
that's good din
talaga
to know.
naman.
At least realistic yung expectations, right, when you get there.
Yeah. Saka pala,
Okay. Next
nakalimutan ko,
question. Ay,
bawal,
sige, sir, go.
bawal kang mag-isip na hindi ko dapat maging work to. Hindi ako ganito sa Pilipinas. So dito, ang mindset mo, back to
Yeah.
zero.
Yeah.
Start
True.
from scratch ka. Start
Oo.
from scratch.
Minsan,
Yan.
minsan nga pag, let's say, nagko-consult ako once in a while, and then that's really what I ask them. Kasi ang laging nasasabi sa akin is, be ready for your first job. It's either you're a server, you're a cleaner, just to get that first thing in your
Yeah.
resume na may work experience ka. And some people will honestly say, hindi, I'm not ready for that, hindi ko kaya. Hindi natutuloy. But at least, di ba, parang before they push through, they
Yeah.
should have this information already. Tapos
I
ito,
was a
sir, ito,
manager before, di ba? I was a manager. I'm handling people. Talagang, kasi sa pharmaceutical industry, ganun eh. So, medyo maganda yung industry namin. Di ba? Nagpupunta kami sa mga doctors. I'm dealing with my medical representatives. Pero nung dumating ako dito, nag-wipe out lahat yun.
yeah.
So,
So that's
talagang back to
something.
zero.
Kailangan ready talaga tayo for that.
Ready ka na. Yeah.
So next question ko, sir. Actually, this is like part of two questions in one.
Sige.
What should they bring from the Philippines? And what are the first... ako kasi iniisip ko yun, babae ako, sir. Iniisip ko minsan, kung 20 kilos lang yung pwede kong bitbitin, ano bibitbitin ko? Rice cooker ba? Sapatos ko? And what do you do? Pagka-land mo, ano yung una mong gagawin?
Okay. Yung bibitbitin ko siguro, kasi may mga items dito na mahal eh. Mahal talaga siya. Na pag sa Pilipinas, napakamura lang. So, naiisip ko na bitbitin ko is like, yung mga documents ko pala. Kaya
Okay,
kailangan ko
yes.
lahat yun.
Siyempre, oo, yes. Multiple copies. Take note, make note.
Napaka-important yun. And make sure kung may ililib kang tao sa Pilipinas, tapos may mga properties ka doon, dapat may SPA ka. Yes. Yung special power of attorney who can sign for you or whatsoever, di ba? Documents, napaka-importante yun. Huwag niyo kakalimutan yun. Then, ako kasi, ang isang maleta lang ako. Wala akong masyadong dinala kasi lalaki ako. So, wala
kasi
naman.
Ako, inisip ko siguro dadalhin ko yung mahal bilhin dyan. So, like, I would buy a good jacket. I would buy siguro boots na, alam mo yun, baka mas mura dito.
Actually, mura naman sa Canada yung mga
talaga? Okay.
yung mga jacket, mga boots. Ang mahal kasi dito yung mga napapansin ko mga beauty products.
Rice.
Yan, mahal yan. Yung mga facial wash,
rice? Okay.
deodorant. Yung rice, mura naman siya dito. Mura yung rice. Pero yan, yung mga deodorant, facial wash, yan yung mga mahal eh. Dito eh.
Compared to the Philippines?
Oo, wala. Medyo malayo. Kasi let's just say, ang facial wash sa Pilipinas is $100 or
yes,
$150, di ba?
Pesos. Oh, yes.
Dito nasa $15 na yun. So,
$15?
Yeah, i-multiply mo siya ng 40, di ba? So,
oo.
laki.
So, tipid ka na lang, di ba? Okay, sige. That's actually something I didn't know as well.
Yeah,
na mahal pala. Ano
mahal
pa, sir?
Dito.
Like, out of curiosity.
I don't know, kasi sa program ko hindi naman ni-require kami mag-books, pero kung may books kang mabibili sa Pilipinas na alam mo na yun yung magiging books mo while studying sa Canada, bilhin mo na kasi mahal dito. Mahal dito yung mga books eh.
Oh. What did you do when you first arrived? Like, what's the most important things?
Yung first arrive ko, wala, nagpahinga. Okay. Nagpahinga ako, tapos ika-second day ko, naghanap na ako ng work. Kasi iniisip ko, bago dapat mag-start yung school year ko, I mean yung start ng klase ko, kailangan may work na ako. Kasi,
mabibisi ka na.
Eto, sa atin lang sabihin ko. Pero sa mga hindi nakakaalam, I just brought 100,000 pesos nung pumunta ako ng Canada. And yun
so,
na yun.
Convert that to dollars, that's
convert ko sa dollars. Around 3,000.
At that time, $3,000.
Mga 3,000.
So, sakto lang. Parang pang set up lang halos yun.
Pambayad lang ng bahay, ganyan.
May bond kasi, di ba? Like, same lang din naman sa Philippines. May bond ka din na babayaran and all of that.
Yun. Nagdala lang ako ng 100K. Tapos bayad ko naman na yung first sem ko. So dun sa 100K na yun na yung ginawa kong pang startup sa buhay ko dito. And nakayanan naman. Pero hindi ko sinasabi na gawin yun kasi
correct.
sobrang
Yes.
tipid kong tao, eh. I mean
Depends on
napaka
your lifestyle.
oo
Ayun din
na
yung common question din na tinatanong sa akin, how
oo,
much do I need to survive there? Ang lagi kong sagot, it depends on your lifestyle. So
yeah.
for you, okay, that's good na napagkasya mo yun
Oo,
until
ang hirap nun,
at least yung
sobrang
next
hirap nun.
sem na
Oo,
tuition fee na pag-ipunan mo pa and all of
oo.
that.
Napaka-frugal ko nung time na yun kasi talagang ang hirap, eh. I mean, ah, eto first, second, third month, eh, nakakaiyak. Siyempre nami-miss ko yung pamilya ko.
Mm.
Dati naman di ako kasi dun sa customer service sa school naglilinis ka din, eh. Sa Tim Hortons as a baker, as a waiter, naglilinis ka din, eh. Tatanggal ka ng basura, naglilinis ka ng washroom. So, siyempre naiisip mo yung dating kunyari nagpupunas ka ng ganyan,
May
naiisip mo yung dati mong
nauutusan ka sa
work.
bahay or
Oo,
sa work, oo.
sabi hindi naman
Totoo
ako
yun.
ganito, eh, hindi naman ako ganito before, pero talagang lulunukin mo na lang siya, eh. I mean,
Tsaka siguro 'pag nakikita
magsa-swallow,
mo yung sweldo, parang okey, puwede na.
"Puwede
Next
na 'to,"
question.
sabi.
Oo, yung next question ko actually, sir, magandang introduction din yung sinabi mo. Is minimum wage enough? And
Um,
life hacks. What were your life hacks to make things simpler? Like, minsan may nakakausap ako, yung roast chicken in the grocery, papatagalin ng 1 week, parang gano'n.
parang ako yun, More
Kapatid
than
ko
a
sa
week pa nga ako,
Australia,
eh.
gano'n, sir.
More than a week pa yung akin yung chicken na yun, eh. Ah, siguro yung minimum wage, if you're alone, mag-isa ka
Mm,
lang and nagwo-work ka ng 20 hours a week, para sa sarili mo lang yung $14 per hour na yun. I
mhm.
mean, para sa sarili mo lang siya talaga. Hindi yun, kulang yun para
Okay.
pandagdag sa
Alright.
tuition mo or
Mm. But cost
whatsoever.
of living, for
Cost of
cost of living,
living, kaya
kulang
naman,
pa din.
medyo kulang pa din, eh.
Okay.
So,
Alright, that's good to know.
yeah,
That's good to
good.
know.
Kulang pa
Kasi
din. Dapat talaga may pera ka.
oo, yes. And that's the whole everyone who's listening, that's the whole reason also that there's proof of funds. Kasi
Yeah,
it's not guaranteed that you get a job right away. It might minimum wage, you heard it from Sir Aaron himself, it might not be enough for you.
not
Even on
enough.
a very frugal lifestyle, kahit pipirin mo pa yung
Oo.
chicken, roast chicken.
Kahit
Global
sabihin mo
pala
sa
tong
landlord
roast
mo,
chicken sa grocery, no? May sa Australia,
oo.
sa New Zealand, sa Canada, yun din pala yung tipid meals natin.
Actually kasi kaya din ako nakatipid is that, merong mga group ng tao or people na tumulong talaga sa'kin na ganito lang sinisingil sa'kin when it comes to my rent. And napakabuti nila. So, hindi ko sila relatives and all, talagang mabait lang sila sa akin. So, ginawa ko din naman yung parang alam kong way para maging mabait din
Mm-mm.
sa kanila. So, yun, nagpapasalamat din ako sa family na yun, na sa Toronto, yung mga tumulong sa akin dun. Kasi siyempre hindi ko kakayanin masyado yung kasi mura lang binabayaran ko that time.
So,
Mm.
ang galing din ng story mo, sir, no? But what brings you to Alberta from Toronto?
Ayun, yun ayun ang segue kasi ako napaka-ano ko talaga focus
Mm-hmm.
on how I can become a permanent resident, and I did research dun sa mga pathways, sa mga provincial pathways, sa express entry and everything. So medyo nagagamay ko na siya din, yun nakapag-decide ako na, "Uy, maganda yung pathway ni Alberta."
Mm-mm, yes.
Tapos ano pa siya, connected pa siya sa express entry, mataas yung points ko. Kasi nag-stop na ng draw, eh. Yung mga uncertainty sa immigration programs or immigration draws na ang hirap-hirap. So, yun nag-decide ako lumipat ng Alberta
Yeah.
and dun ako na-invite right away. After 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
in-invite na ako ni Alberta. Then under express entry, tapos nagkaroon ako ng CRS na 1,000 plus points. And
Taas
yun,
ng points mo, sir, 1,000 plus?
oo, kasi nagkaroon ng
Wow.
plus 600 points, eh.
Kasi
Coming
lumipat
from
ka dyan
lumipat,
from the
hindi,
province.
nakakuha ako ng provincial nominee. So yung
Ayun.
468 ko plus
Oo.
600 pa yun. So
468. So parang 400, sige, never mind yung 468. Ikukwento ko din yan mamaya. Ikukwento ko din siya. And finally, for this part of the segment or our interview, what finally pushed you to pursue your studies in Canada?
What pushed me? Gusto ko ng, gusto ko ma-feel and maranasan on how to live in a foreign country. And if magsasucceed ako, ito bang ito bang bagay na 'to is makaka-support sa pamilya ko, sa mommy ko, 'yan, sa fiance ko, ayun.
Ah, wow, congratulations, sir. Um, I was gonna say something, nakalimutan ko tuloy. Sige, when I remember later on. But I'm gonna ask for a quick break, Sir Aaron, if that's okay, to just give a short presentation about the
Sure, sure,
services
sure.
also that we offer. So I'm just gonna quickly set that up. Just give me a minute.
Alright.
All right. So I'm just gonna quickly discuss with you guys the benefits, what we do for Trust for those that are just seeing us for the first time. So, uh, sorry, let me just get this rolling. So you heard Sir Aaron about his life, a bit of his experiences, his life hacks as well. So we want to just run you through how we as a company can help you get to Canada as well, and achieve all the goals that he did on his own. So Fortrust, we're an education agency. We assist students find college or a pathway to Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. We are originally established in Sydney, Australia, so we've been around for 26 years. Here in the Philippines, we're going close to 10 years as well. So we're because we can't really see you guys face to face, we're just showing you a few pictures of our team and of our offices as well. So we're composed of a really young team, yet well, young-ish, baka hindi na ako kasama dyan. But all in all, we have close to 50 years experience in the industry. We used to work with different embassies and immigration agencies of different companies, really to disseminate information. But of course, now with COVID, then we're trying to give you as much information as possible online through our webinars. Even see on a Sunday. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday. In the Philippines, we have offices all over. So we have an office in Makati, in which is our main office. For now, as I said, we're working from home. So if you want to get in touch with us, just take note of the numbers we're flashing on screen. So our Baguio office is currently still open. It also depends on the alert level that the city's in. We have an office in Cebu, in Davao, and in General Santos. So just find the office closest to you or reach out to us and we can connect you to that office. We also have offices in Australia, in Singapore, in India, in Myanmar, in Thailand, in Vietnam, and Malaysia. So it's not just in the Philippines, really, it's an operations throughout the Asia Pacific region. Um, Forta started out, as I said, 26 years ago. And throughout that 26 years, we've come to partner with over 500 colleges and universities, not just in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, but really across the world. We have partners in Malaysia, Singapore, and India, and Germany, as I said, all over Europe, in the US, and Canada. And because of that, there will also be more than 10,000 courses to choose from. As Sir Aaron said earlier, there's really a specific course for a specific job. So you have to be properly qualified if you want to pursue your career in these other countries. Also, because there are over 10,000 courses to choose from, we'll be able to properly match you with what you're looking for and with what you want to achieve throughout your career. We have a few of our partnered or preferred partners flashed on screen. If they're not there, then just ask your education agent or your counselor, and they'll be able to give you a proper suggestion. So here at Fortrust, we really try to work hand in hand with our clients to meet their goals. We are not only experts in one country, let's say it's not just Canada, we are experts for all these other countries that we cater to: Australia, New Zealand, the US, Singapore, the UK. So we will get to talk to you. We'll try to find out what your goals are in terms of quality of education, working overseas. Do you want to migrate? Do you want to come back to the Philippines? Or do you even want to take, let's say, the IELTS to enter? So we'll work with you to make sure that that we find the right options for you. For Canada, we work with most universities and colleges. Yeah, we work with most universities and colleges. So what makes Fortrust unique? Earlier, I flashed pictures of the expos that we would have. We would talk to hundreds, close to thousands of people in one day. We would have these expos in different cities in the Philippines, and our main goal was really to disseminate information, to make sure that our future students had as much information as they could before they made a decision whether to pursue this pathway or not. When you come to Fortrust, we'll do a consultation with you. No commitments. You don't need to pay us for a consultation fee. You don't need to assure us that, oh, sige, tutuloy ako. Because we know this pathway is not really for everyone. But when you do talk to us, you'll get a personalized assessment based on your situation. You'll get idea of the cost and the process, and also of what's best for you. And what is best for you? The end goal is really to, at least for us, our number one goal is to make sure that you get your visa approval. Because if you don't get that first visa, then everything else will not fall into place, right? So that's really our number one goal, to make sure you get your visa approval based on your budget limitation. Okay, so each person will have a different budget based on your desired location and your personal objectives. What do you want to happen with your career? Do you want to eventually work in Canada? Do you want to eventually migrate to Canada? All of that we will discuss with you, and we will take all of that into consideration. So what makes us different from other agencies? Um, Here at Fortrust, we work with a licensed migration lawyer. Okay, this wasn't always the case. We found out when we first started processing students to Canada. We talked to the embassy. We talked to the embassy. We talked to immigration, and found out that if you want to process visas for Canada, you have to partner with a licensed migration consultant. Okay, so that's exactly what we did. It took us a year. It took us a year to find a partner that is the right fit for us, and so far it's been really good. And because of this, before we do anything, we have what is called a permanent study to permanent residency plan. Okay, this is something that we do for majority of our students, wherein before we apply for your college course, or before we apply for your course, basically in Canada, we will give you, or we will request for what's called the permanent residency plan. And in that plan, it will lay out what course is best for you, um, how long do you need to study in Canada for you to sort of like for you to later on transition to permanent residency, where you should study, which is the ideal place for you to go to. So like Sir Aaron mentioned earlier, he eventually had to go to Alberta to meet those the points requirement. So that will be included in your immigration plan, in your PR plan as well. What IELTS grade you need to get upon graduation, how long you need to work after graduation, and what type of job do you have to look for. So all of that will be in your PR plan. Um, what makes us different as well from DIY groups? These DIY groups are very, very helpful. You'll find them on, there are like forums on this, you'll find them on Facebook, and they're very helpful. Even for us, we still learn something new every day. But you have to bear in mind that each person's situation will be different from yours. Okay, I've been doing this for quite some time, and still I have to say I am still learning. I still see new situations, a new set of documents every day, and that's with 10 years of experience. A lot also of the DIY groups, of course, are a lot of cuento, which is, although helpful, are still cuento. So usually, if kami, we're unsure about the things that we will tell our students, we take a pause, then we ask our migration lawyer, ano ba ang tamang sagot dito? Because he, after all, studied the law and is qualified to give the advice that we are unsure of. So yun, if we're not sure, we ask our migration lawyer, and he will usually come back to us with some sort of link or article related to the migration law, or related to the answer that we need. Okay, so what also makes us different? There are also a lot of agencies that process their applications for free, and that's really good as well. But what don't they have? They also don't have that residency planning. And because they don't have that residency planning, most of them will just offer you the longer course, the 2-year course, so that you can stay 3 years after you study. If I didn't have that PR plan to guide me as well, most likely ito din naman yung sasabihin ko sa students. But because we have that PR plan, or study to permanent residency plan, I can help my students save up to 1 year's tuition fee. Just by seeing that, oh, you already qualify for, you can apply for permanent residency after just studying just 1 year. But there will also be some students that will need to study the full 2 years and work that full 3 years under the postgraduate work permit to be able to qualify for permanent residency. And still, I also see some students that will come to us for this permanent residency planning, and we will see on their PR plan no chance to apply for permanent residency ever. So, in effect, we are able to help the student from even proceeding at all. Okay, so that is the value of the permanent residency plan and of our services, how we help our students. Okay, so again, the permanent residency plan, why is it so important? It's because you can use this as your manual towards Canadian residency, and most of our students will be able to avail of this service. Okay, so what do you get from Fortrust? Of course, we always aim to provide you with the best options. It may not just be with Canada. We can also assist you with other countries as well. We help you apply and get accepted to the colleges. So we will make sure that the documents that we present are complete, so that it happens in the fastest possible time. Once of course, we'll help you get your LOA and your letter of acceptance, and your COE. Will also help you with things like insurance, tuition fee payments, accommodations, and most importantly, prepare you for your departure. And also, we can also help you with your study plan. So this is like the heart of your application. So we'll just make sure that we can't make it for you. We can't make the study plan for you, because after all, it's your story for the visa officer. But we can make sure that your study plan is complete, to make sure that you are able to relay all your thoughts, or all the important thoughts, and tell your visa officer about this. So what does our clients get by working with Fortrust? Now, our process can be a little bit more tedious than other companies and a little longer, but I believe it is also our process that gives us such a high visa approval rate. Now, when you come to us, you won't just be working with one person, okay? You'll be working, number one, with your education counselor, who will be doing your consultation and school application for you. They will make sure that you're enrolled in the right course, in the right location as well. Once you have your letter of acceptance, or once you've found that right school for you, we will then assign you a visa officer. Now, this visa officer, their main job is to make sure that your visa application and documents are complete and ready for submission. If there's still some uncertainty, if the visa officer still has some uncertainty, we then pass it on to a senior visa officer just to double check. If you need some help putting your thoughts into words, we can even engage you with a content specialist, just to help you form your thoughts as well. Once that's done, once your visa documents are complete, we then pass on your application to our Canadian lawyer to complete what is called a file review. That Canadian lawyer will give us notes and tips on how to improve and correct the application. So your application, your documents go to the minimum of 3 people. So 3 to 5 people will be checking in your application. And that ensures that no mistakes are made, that mistakes are caught, and your application is presented in the best possible way. Because of that, we have an average of a 95% approval rate. Okay? And I think that speaks for the process that we have. All right. Is your case complicated? All right. We have also come up with, developed this reputation online. We have for problem solving. Okay. A lot of students who have had visa refusals in the past. Um, I've spoken to people who have had 4 visa refusals in the past, who are the only remaining family here in Canada. Nahirapan sila, na-refuse. We were able to get approvals for them naman po. We have had students in their 50s, several students in their 50s already, who got their visas approved. So, what else? Usually, visa refusals when it comes to their funds. Okay, so we make sure that your funds are presented in the correct way and it's complete. If you're the only remaining family here in the Philippines, if you are a mature age student, those are usually what we call a more complicated case, but we have had great success with this as well. Also, there are some students who come with us na ayaw na nga tanggapin ng ibang agency yung case nila. We will give it our best effort. Okay? But also, we will also set the right expectations. Okay, we're not here also to tell you, yes, it's so easy, it will be a breeze. In fact, it's the total opposite. Upfront, we will tell you, sir, ma'am, mahirap po yan. This is what you have to expect. But we will always give it our 100%. Okay. So why do people choose Canada? Now, Canada has become one of the top study destinations specifically for the Philippines, because we understand also that a lot of the Filipinos want better opportunities even after studying. So it works 2 ways. By studying, number one, you can improve your career here in the Philippines, or number two, you can work in Canada after you graduate, gain that Canadian work experience, and if qualified, then apply for permanent residency. And a lot of Filipinos would want to have that opportunity for greener pastures, as Sir Aaron said. Okay. So now it's really the best time to apply for a student visa to Canada. Canada was one of the first countries to open their borders to international students despite the pandemic, but still control their COVID cases. Early on, as early as, if I'm not mistaken, May 2021, or even September 2020, they already opened their borders. I'm not entirely sure on that. Number two, international students are recognized as some of the best candidates for permanent residency. Why? Why is that? Number one, you'll have the qualifications. You'll have that Canadian qualification. Number two, you'll have the Canadian work experience that they're looking for. Number three, they already know that that you've adapted to their culture. And number four, nandun ka na. Syempre, who will they choose? Someone who's already in Canada, or someone that they're not sure if dadating ba sa Canada, or uuwi lang din pala pagdating sa Canada. Okay? Next is the world-class education. It's ranked as number 5 in the world. Yet, despite this ranking, it has one of the most affordable tuition fees for international students. As in, I worked talaga I can compare it to all other countries. It is the most affordable. And I'll give you a very good example. The tuition fee of a publicly funded institution in Canada. So these are these are like the institutions that can get funds from from the Canadian government, because they meet their KPIs. Okay, so these are good institutions. The tuition fee of that publicly funded institution in Canada will just be the same as a private college in another country. Let's say Australia, UK, or New Zealand. Pareho lang. You get the most value out of it. You can work while you're studying, so you can work part-time, which is 20 hours a week while you're studying, full-time during holiday breaks, and after graduation, you can stay to work full-time. Of course, you have to meet certain conditions. But if your course is 8 months to less than 2 years, you can stay the equivalent time. So kung 8 months lang din yung postgraduate work permit mo. If you study a 2-year course, you can stay up to 3 years to work full-time. If you study 2 one-year courses, pinagsama mo sila, you can stay an additional 2 to 3 years to work full-time. If you have a spouse or a common law partner, it can even be a partner of same sex that they recognize that. You can bring your partner with you under an open work permit, and that means your spouse gets to work full time. For children or dependents of international students, international students, as long as they're and secondary grade age, then they can study for free as well. Okay. So what are the requirements to apply for a college? It's pretty straightforward. It's your application form. You have to pass all your credentials, your academic and work credentials. In some cases, there will be the IELTS that will be required. It's an English exam. But because they also recognize the Philippines as an English-speaking country, then sometimes we'll just get a certificate from your college saying that your curriculum in college is not English. It's that straightforward. Next for a student visa. All right, just let my so first and foremost, please have your free consultation with us. This will ensure that you're in the right course. Okay, so you sign up and appoint Fortrust your official education agent, and then we will request for your permanent residency plan. With your permanent residency plan, that's where we will see what the best course option is for you. Then we will apply for your college na. Once we have your letter of acceptance, then we'll make a payment of your tuition fee. The will depend on how you process your visa. So it can be a 1 semester's payment or a 1 year's payment of your tuition fee. It will depend. We do your medical, get your NBI, all of that, and then put all your visa documents together. Once that is complete, we then submit it to our migration lawyer for a file review. Once we have his feedback, we then log your application, send it to immigration, and wait. The turnaround time, it really depends. It can be as fast as a few days. I've had in 4 days. We've also had a student that took as long as 1 year to process that visa application. So it really, really depends. So the next question we always get is, how much do I need to show when I apply for my study permit? Okay. When it comes to tuition fee, there is a range of $1,000. That's one of the lowest already that I've seen, to around $18,000 for a public college. If you go to university, of course, it can be much higher. It can be much higher. But when it comes to a fund, I will show you the computation for that. Okay. Now there are two ways to apply for a student visa. I will just move to the next slide. Excuse me lang po. There are two ways to apply for a student visa. The first is through the regular stream. In the regular stream, all your visa documents. This is where we will have to show the embassy or immigration that you have access to a certain compute. Okay, there will be comes to your first year's tuition fee. It doesn't matter how long you will be studying. They'll only be looking at your first year's tuition fee. If you've already paid your 1 semester tuition fee, you can deduct it from the computation. Living expense. Your living expense is non-negotiable despite the reality. The has already set a limit that not really a limit, has given us a figure that your 1 year's cost of living is equals to 10,000 Canadian dollars. If you're bringing your house and with you, then their cost of living to that as well, and your travel expense, because after all, you will have to purchase a ticket to get to Canada. So on average, that will be anywhere from around $8,000 to, of course, if you're bringing your family, million pesos. Okay, so for the study direct stream, what's most important is that you show you have genuine access to your funds. The next way of processing a visa is called the study direct stream. It's supposed to be a streamlined method of applying for your visa. Now, why is that? Instead of just demonstrating that you have access to your funds, you literally access your funds even before you get to Canada. Okay, so before you apply for a visa or a study permit, you will have to pay your 1 year's tuition fee upfront. Okay, second, for your cost of living, your $10,000 cost of living, while here in the Philippines, you have to open a bank account with one of the participating banks in Canada and transfer at least $10,200. Okay, the $200 goes to the bank. That's their processing fee already and is non-refundable. The $10,000 remains under your name, and this is proof that you have access, that you've already accessed your cost of living. Okay, what happens to the $10,000? So it stays there while you're applying for the visa. But when you get to Canada, You go to the bank, you show them that you're there, and immediately they'll give you access to $2,000, which is your setup fee. Yung pambayad ng bond, pambili ng whatever jackets you need, and all of that. And the remaining $800 will be for the remaining 1 year. Okay, so if you're with Scotiabank, that's something like $800 per month for the next 11 months. Okay, so they also make sure that you will have your funds throughout that first 1 year that you're there, the first year that you're there. Okay. Additional requirements. The IELTS is required. Okay. You need a band score of 6 in all what do you call this? All bands or all tests. And then it doesn't matter though if you you be recognized. And you also need to do an upfront medical because we being the processing. So it's an average of 30 days to process it that way. Okay. Next slide, please. All right. So to start your consultation, just get in touch with us. If you have any questions, by the way, I keep on forgetting. If you have questions, just put it in the comment section, and after this, we'll try to answer as much questions as possible. Okay, so just flash link where you can book consultation. There you go. If you don't have a counselor yet, or you need an inquiry, you have an inquiry, just set an appointment with us, and then we'll try to get back as fast as we can. Okay, I think that's it for me. Office, there you go. No counselor letter, office. Here are our office numbers. We also published our mobile landline since a lot of our offices are closed for safety. So that's it for me. I can go back to Sir Aaron. Sir Aaron, thank you for patiently waiting. Thank you for giving me that. I hope it wasn't too long, but thank you for
No,
that.
it's good. It's good.
All right.
I guess I took something out of it, like the most important part of your presentation is the Bible, the PR plan, because I use that.
You
Ginamit
did.
ko yun.
Useful siya. See?
Yeah.
Alam mo,
And
before, kwento ko lang, before hindi namin ginagawa yan. It was just a file review kasi nga parang our services were free before. So parang it took us a while to get used to, ay ba, maniningil tayo. Ang hirap, nahihirapan kami coming from being a free agency. So dati file review lang. Tapos naisip namin, total, partner na din naman namin tong migration agent. And ito din naman yung gustong mangyari ng students, might as
yeah,
well. Oo. So I'm very glad to hear na
yeah.
you were able to use it. And
It's
yung
like a
kwento ko
common
nga
goal,
sa'yo.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Common goal kasi yan eh. Yan yung
Oo,
pinaka-focus ng mga students. Ba't ka ba nagka-Canada? Is to become
exactly.
a resident, to become a citizen. So,
Oo.
yun ang siguro dapat ma-realize ng mga international students na naghahanap ng agency is not only that they can bring you in Canada by means of, looking for a school for you,
Yeah.
assessing all your documents, making sure that you can really fly to Canada, but
Yeah.
also, syempre, iisipin nila dapat din yung future mo, di ba?
Yeah.
Kasi yung PR plan, nandun na lahat, guys. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, the IELTS score that you need, yung age mo, ano ba yung CRS
Yung
score
age.
mo,
Oo.
napaka-important nun. So, I can vouch for Fortrust for giving me this opportunity to have this PR plan because it really helped me and it works for me. So, I think it will work for you as well because ano siya eh, napaka-general niya sa lahat ng applicant kasi lahat naman tayo napupunta, napaka direct to the point. Hindi tayo PR, hindi naman tayo ano, 'di ba? Hindi tayo resident, lahat tayo foreigner. And we need this pathway. We need to know what will make us to become a permanent resident. So napaka-important nun, Crisel. And
Oo,
I
especially,
agree with you that
madalas kong nakikita, move after graduation. Madaming pinapapunta sa Alberta. Parang if you can study in Alberta from the start, then go ahead
yeah,
and do that. Or they can move after graduation.
yeah,
Lalo
oh,
na yung mga, also, sir, I have to say, minsan nakikita talaga namin, no chance. So at
yeah,
least, di ba, parang if there's no chance, what's the point? Di ko nasasayangin yung oras ng
yeah.
student na yun, right? So
Good
there, thank you,
thing,
sir.
good thing.
That's such good feedback talaga. Actually, nasagot mo na yung question ko. of what's the advantage of applying for Fortress. Salamat, sir, ha?
Hindi kasi
And
ano kasi it works for me, eh. I will never tell anyone na gawin mo 'to, ganyan,
yeah,
gawin mo 'yan, if it doesn't work for me at all, 'di ba?
yeah.
But if this thing will help you or me to become a permanent resident, why not, right? It's like, guys, sa mga nakikinig, this is the I think this is the right way to put it, no? You are paying support us because not only because of it, I think their services are all free. But this PR plan that came from a Canadian lawyer, immigration lawyer, talagang napaka-legit nito, 'di ba?
And
Talagang
it's very detailed.
nandun yung pirma nung
Oo,
lawyer. I mean, talagang
yeah.
nandun. Ito yung magiging bible mo, ito yung magiging blueprint mo to success on how to become a permanent resident sa Canada. Kasi hindi mo naman alam yan eh. Ikaw, napaka, wala ka pang alam, mag-aano ka pa lang, mag-research ka pa lang sa Canada, pero
Mm.
hindi mo alam yung mga pathways to become a permanent resident. Ano ba yung CRS? Ano ba yung mga ganito? Ano ba yung mga
Oo.
ganyan? Doon, nandun yun.
And
Sa,
at least, mape-prepare mo na din yung documents mo even before leaving. Na parang, may
that's
job
what I did.
description. O, di ba? Na dapat
Yeah.
ito pala yung nakalagay sa job description ko or sa, what do you call this?
COE
Letter
mo,
of
nandyan.
COE. Ito pala
Yung
dapat.
West mo, yung ECA
Yeah.
mo, dapat, di
Because it
ba?
takes
So,
time. It takes a
it takes
year
time.
to
Yeah.
get your West, which you'll find out once na parang
Kaya
nag-usap
sa akin
talaga
ang
tayo.
bilis
Oo.
eh. Ang bilis na nangyari kasi nandyan na lahat ng documents ko
Yeah.
kasi I'm aware of it.
Mm-mm.
I read it in the form, in the document that was presented to me by Fortrust, and ito yung naging ano sa akin, parang naging aha moment ko. Uy, meron pala ako
Pwede.
nito. Pwede. So pwede
Mm-mm.
pala ako ma-PR. Akala ko it's too late for me.
Yeah.
Ang bata ko pa pala. So hindi ko kasi alam yung mga age na ano yun eh.
How old were you, sir? Nung
Ako,
nag-start ka? Oo.
30
Yun pala yung tatanong ko. How old were you when you started? Kasi manager
Saan?
ka na dito. When you
Sa
started the
Pilipinas?
process. Oo,
Sa
2019.
process?
When you
2019,
started,
mga ano na ako nun, 28, 29.
28.
20.
But
Oo.
still, oo. Kasi,
Hindi,
yeah.
kasi hindi ko naman alam eh. Hindi ko naman
Oo.
alam yung process before eh. Diba?
Even, let's say, our students na kaedad ko, mga late 30s, makikita mo din, at least parang, kasi nga, the age, di ba? Parang as you
Oo.
grow older, na zero na yung age mo, makikita mo din how to lift it up. If you don't meet, let's say, the points requirement with so many scenarios, what do you have to do? Nare-remedyohan naman siya. I
Oo.
mean, I think that's also one of the
Yun
benefits.
kasi, yun ang kinaganda ng immigration lawyer. He's really looking for a way sa lahat ng available pathways, di ba? Paano magiging PR tong si Aaron? Doon niya ilalagay yun eh. You need to achieve something. You need to achieve an IELTS
Sobrang
language
frank,
score.
sir, no?
No,
Did you get...
napaka-direct to the point.
Sobrang
And
direct to the point niya.
And may mga
Which is good.
scenarios doon I'm telling you guys, may mga scenarios doon na nilalagay nila. If you score 8.5 in your IELTS,
Yeah.
if you score 7.5 in your IELTS band score, this what will happen. You
Yeah.
need to comply with this requirement, blah, blah, blah. So ako, nagka-idea na ako, I think I can fix my
Yeah.
own, immigration application. Kasi may idea na
So,
ako din.
nagamit mo talaga siya even for applying for permanent
Oo.
residency. It guided you.
Yeah.
Ang galing.
Kasi
So, ang
hindi
laki din
naman
ng natipid mo. Kasi
Oo,
usually,
yeah,
migration lawyer
definitely.
will charge $5,000
Yes,
to
yes,
assist,
they
di
will
ba?
charge you a lot. They will charge you a
That's
lot.
good.
Pero DIY, kaya mo yun by
Oo.
yourself.
Galing. Galing.
Kasi yun
Ano
nga,
challenge mo, sir? Biggest challenge in applying
biggest
for
challenge,
permanent residency?
you need to, sa akin, lahat ng mga information, kailangan mo i-filter yan. So, hindi porket sinabi ng ganito, tama yan. So, you need to filter it. You need to ask the right questions to the right people. So, napaka-important nun, Crisela. Kasi, sinabi ni ganyan, hindi naman siya, alam mo yun, pero alam mong may experience siya about dun, pero hindi naman niya perfectly
Oo.
understood yung bagay na yun, di ba? So,
Yes.
napaka-important talaga na i-filter mo yung information. So, kung ano yung mga finifeed mo sa mind mo, i-segment mo siya, mag-compartmentalize ka talaga
Yeah.
na ito bagay na to para dito, para dito. So sa mindset mo, alam ko na. So ito dapat yung IELTS ko. Ito dapat yung score ko sa ganito. Sa ECA ko dapat equivalent ng 4 years bachelor's degree. So yun, magkakaroon ka na ng unique idea, and by joining yung Facebook pages na nakikita natin,
Mm-mm.
doon
Yes.
madaming mga nag-share ng mga experiences nila. Hi, ganito yung process ko. And then PM mo sila, oh, nag-agency ka ba? No eh, ano lang din ako, DIY. So, yun, exchanging of experiences.
Nakakatuwa din, sir, no? Na
Oo,
parang these people who have achieved their success really want to help other people. Doon ako natutuwa I also read also the DIY groups. I also learn from them.
yeah,
I mean, talagang
definitely.
not one person will be able to accommodate all this information.
Yeah.
Galing.
Ako,
So, sir,
yeah. Ako, okay, ako din sa DIY kasi nga, brainstorming talaga siya
yeah,
between a lot of people sa certain groups, 'di ba? Sa
yes,
specific groups na nakakakuha ka ng ideas coming from
yeah.
them. But again, you need to filter it. You need to make a
Mm-mm.
research about it because not all information ay
Yeah,
tama. So dapat
yes,
talaga
totoo.
makita
Yeah,
mo na yun, ma-recognize mo, uy, baka medyo sketchy to ah. So I need to
yeah.
look pa sa mga available resources sa
And I
online.
have to say this also, even for those using an agency, even if you come to us, double check the information. I'll say this again and again, double check the ito yung usual ko sinasabi, double check the information on the immigration website. Okay? Kasi kung ano sinasabi namin, dapat nandun sa immigration website.
Yeah.
Number two, shout out lang din, or sasabihin ko lang din, whenever you pay anything, make sure to pay directly to the institution that you need to pay. Don't pay your tuition
Yes.
fee to your agent, always pay
Yeah.
to the school, and yun talagang mission ko in life, to get that message out. Make your,
Yeah.
protect yourself also.
Yeah, and once you have that, letter of acceptance, you have the capacity to
True. Yeah,
confirm, to clarify. Even yourself, you can call the school if
yeah,
medyo kinakabahan ka sa mga, yung mga agency na kasi ito to be honest, Crystal, madami din akong kilala na
mm,
naloko ng mga
yes,
agencies saying, oh, ganito, magbayad kayo sa amin ng
yeah,
ganyan. We will help
I
you go to
know.
Canada.
Oo.
So, yeah,
that
be
that's
careful.
really that's really talaga for me, sir, ha. That's my personal mission, to make sure that this doesn't happen. Kasi nga, that's hard-earned money. So anyway, on a more cheerful note, sir, any last, thank you again for taking the time to
Sure,
be
sure,
with us
sure.
today, with the time difference, sharing your experience. It's really valuable, not just for the people that are planning to go to Canada, but even feedback for us as well, to know at least that we're on the right track and how we can improve. But before we let you go, before we end, is there any words of wisdom for those
Words,
planning to do this?
words of wisdom. Ang akin lang is you should be decided, you
Mhm.
should be motivated, and at the same time, you should plan. Kasi not all people who goes here are planning or they have this kind of, concrete plan nagpagpunta nila sa Canada. So dapat planado lahat. Kasi mahirap yung alam mo yun, nag-aano ka, naha-hassle ka sa pagkukuha ng mga information na kailangan mo in order for you to become a PR. And i-emphasize ko lang yung PR plan na sinasabi ni Fortrust, napaka-important yan kasi kung magbabayad ka ng agent mo, it's around $5,000 kumpara sa sinisingil ni Porter. So napakababa ng when it comes to ratio, 'di ba? Cost to sales ratio niya. So again, sa akin lang, be decided, be motivated, and at the same time know what your goal is. Ano ba yung kailangan mong i-achieve? Ba't ka ba nagpupunta dito? Ano ba yung worth nito? And end of the day, it's about yourself. Consider mo yung ibang tao pag nakita mo na talaga yung sarili mo. I mean na naalagaan mo mabuti yung sarili mo kasi it's yourself in here kasi mag-isa ka dito. Even though may relatives ka, I'm not saying na matutulungan ka nila, but again, it's yourself. It's for you to decide and it's your future. So, kung magga-gamble ka, magte-take ka ng risk, dapat all in ka. Kasi yung return on investment sa ginawa mo is yun na yun, yung pinaghirapan mo. Kasi all in ka nga eh. So, mas malaki yung balik sa'yo, di ba? Yun lang naman, Crisel, for mga aspiring international students, talagang decided lang talaga dapat yung utak nila, alam nila yung gagawin nila, alam nila yung pagdadaanan nila kasi mahirap siya pero sa dulo napaka worth it, guys, I'm telling you. Healthcare, education ng mga bata, yung mga pamilya, mga anak nyo,
Yeah.
you cannot compare it to any country pa kasi the best. One of the best sa buong mundo.
Galing, galing. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time. I think we have one question on
For
Facebook, though.
sure.
Is it okay if we go through that?
All right, no problem.
Ay, here
Ano
we
to?
go. Paano sa
Ba?
panahon ngayon na may COVID virus, makakalusot po ba, nag-process po ba sa application? Yes. Um,
Yes, definitely.
it's one
Oh,
of the first countries po na open their borders to international students even while COVID. And ang kagandahan with Canada, hindi sila set on stone na parang kung ito yung rules, ito yung rules. They have been the most flexible na
yes.
they are allowing online learning. Even if you're doing online classes, it will still be credited to your postgraduate work permit. If let's say nagbibigay sila minsan ng deadline na hanggang December na lang tong online learning nila. If hindi pa okay yung COVID situation, they will extend it. So some students,
Napaka-flexible nga nila.
sobrang
Yan,
flexible.
totoo yan.
Imagine yung natitipid nila sa cost of living. Dito na lang sila nag-aral. Siyempre, the whole experience, it's not the same. But still, ang laki na natipid nila sa cost of living, they left na lang for their postgraduate work permit na. So
Yan,
thank you
totoo
for the
yan.
question. There's another, Sir Francis Termula. Thank you, sir, for saying we're the best agency. Okay.
Best
How,
agency, indeed. Yeah, totoo yan.
how much yung, this one, how much yung consultation fee mo? Fee namin, we don't charge for
Free.
consultation. Yes, it's free. You'll get the information that you need during your one-on-one consultation. But of course, like the PR plan comes after na lang po, once you've engaged with us.
Yeah.
Is there a free consultation on weekends? Yes, our office hours now. Our office hours are Monday to Saturday. And of course, we all take turns working the weekends din naman po. So even the weekends, it's free. But also take note, Saturday is the busiest day for us. So schedule in advance. Madami palang questions. Okay.
Madami ba? Sige lang.
Joe de Guzman, thank you.
Si Jody Guzman. Yeah, I know that guy. And
That's it. Yun lang naman po. That's all the questions that we have. But very good questions. Again, thank you, Sir Aaron.
thank you.
Thank you again
Salamat.
talaga. We really
Salamat
appreciate your
sa
time.
invitation. And
Alright.
I enjoyed our
Ako din.
conversation.
Parang nagkwentuhan lang tayo.
Hindi
Thank
kasi
you, sir.
talagang ang aim naman natin is to inspire yung
Yes.
mga student na gusto pumunta dito.
And to prepare them really.
Oo, kasi hindi ka naman pwede, you cannot go to war without any kind of, tools, without any kind of weapon. So, you need to be prepared. And with Fortrust, I guarantee they will help you out.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a good day, everyone. I hope we were able to give you information to help you with your decision making. So thank you, everyone. Have a great Sunday ahead.
Bye.